something of your choosing that no person or no circumstance can touch. Hi. First, I'm going to apologize for my jumbled thoughts because this idea really just popped into my head. Had to make a few notes so I can stay on track because I have a tendency to rant on about things. Why am I making this video, right? Let's talk about the why not. I am not making this video for validation. I am not looking for people to tell me that, oh no, you're actually beautiful in your own way. Validation from external sources is not going to be something that's permanent or long lasting anyway. Any validation that would be of value to me would have to come from within me, and that's something I'm working on. So instead, I'm learning that someday maybe I can accept that. Maybe I am beautiful in my own way, but that's something for me to work on and to accept someday. And maybe if that's not true, maybe I am ugly, and that's something I have to live with. I've lived with it for 26 years now. The why I'm making this video is for two reasons. The first one is that for anyone who might be feeling similar way like I am, where maybe you have had similar experiences of people calling you ugly, or maybe you just feeling ugly within yourself, or you've allowed people's words to diminish your self-worth, your self-value, and that you don't have self-love for yourself. I'm hoping that by the end of this video, you can find one or two things that I'm doing to put me on a journey towards rediscovering my self-worth and finding self-love within myself without having to rely on an external source. And the second reason would be for those who, I guess I'll consider like perpetrators. Like if you are someone who has caused harm to others with your words, intentionally or unintentionally, especially because of things that people can't control, like the way they look, I'm hoping that maybe you can rethink, reevaluate. You know, maybe you are someone like us who has been hurt in the past and you just never found a healthy outlet to deal with the problems, and you instead chose to become those people who have hurt you in the past. You know how, bullies were once bullied, that kind of thing, but not to excuse what you've done, because I personally, after having to feel this way, I would never want anyone else to be in my shoes, to feel the same way that I feel. Having no self-worth for yourself is not a good place to be. So maybe after watching this, you can rethink the things you say, the things you type on social media to try and hurt people and try and bring people down, because most times it's because of the way you feel about yourself, and you're trying to put that on other people. So those are the two reasons why I'm making this video. A little bit about myself. I am 26 years old. I forget sometimes. I'm stuck on 26 years ago. And when I was growing up, I never heard words like beautiful, pretty, smart, even things that are not superficial. Basically, okay, so this video is going to be about superficial beauty, but eventually I'm hoping that we can learn that our self-identity and self-worth is much more than superficial beauty. I heard words like ugly, too black, charcoal. The ironic part of this is that I was called black and charcoal by people who were darker than me, but I couldn't say anything back because they were much more older than me. And it was in a country, on a continent where most people looked like me or darker than me. And I didn't have a problem with that until they started telling me there was a problem with the way I looked. So that was the experience I had growing up with the issue of self-esteem and self-worth and knowing what is considered beautiful and ugly. I went through life calling myself ugly. Many people who know me have heard me call myself ugly, and I've had them tell me otherwise. That's not true. Thank you for all those who have tried to dissuade me. I'm still working on it. So that's how the journey started, of where my self-worth started diminishing. I went through life with such mentality that I would place others above myself. As we grow older, other things change and other things started to play a role in my self-esteem. Basically, it just went downhill, like continuously downhill. I don't think there's been a time where it was like uphill. Like I've been working through these emotions and feelings over the years, but there's not a point where I'm like, wow, there was this one year where my self-esteem skyrocketed. That hasn't been the case. I'm working to get there someday. In terms of growing up and getting older, three things have played a role in affecting my self-esteem. And the three I will be talking about are social media, especially Instagram in my case. Second one would be traveling/living abroad. The third one would be dating or the lack thereof. First on Instagram. We all know about the filtered life that people live on Instagram, and how there's such a big contrast between the life people actually live and the life that they share with others online. But when you are in a state of mind that is not a healthy one, you're not able to make that discernment that, oh, what you see online has actually gone through a lot of process to make it look picture perfect. So I find myself a lot of times doing the game of comparison when I know, when I'm in the right state of mind, I know that comparison is the thief of joy. I know that. I'm saying that now. However, when those moments hit you and you're not in a good place, you find yourself online scrolling through pictures, you end up comparing yourself to these people. I'm not wealthy. I'm not rich in any way. I'm not in any lucrative business. However, I've lived a very comfortable life. I have no regret about the life I've lived up until now, but I find myself comparing people's filtered life to my untouched, unfiltered life. Bad idea. If you are in that situation, I advise you to take a step back from it. For example, I created my account on Instagram in the year of 2014 and I never signed out of the account. Finally made the decision to go into Instagram and logged out of my account. So I've currently not been signed in. That's where I am regarding the issue number one. Issue number two is traveling / living abroad. I currently live in South Korea and I've had most of my experiences abroad in Asian countries. I've been to 10 countries, 9 of them in Asia, 1 is Canada. When you're living in countries or traveling to countries where you stand out, like a sore thumb, and people don't find your type to be the ideal beauty, which isn't a big deal because my type is not considered ideal beauty where I'm from, where I was born. So I'm not expecting that where I travel to. But I didn't let that stop me from traveling. So don't get me wrong. I don't regret any of my travels. So it's not a big deal. However, it gets to a point where it gets to you. The first experience I had of like standing out was when I studied abroad in 2014. I did a semester abroad, but I split the semester half here, half there. So 2 months in Thailand, 2 months in Vietnam. I got stayed out in Thailand. I thought it was a big deal, right? Because I never got stayed out when I was in America. I went to Vietnam and things were worse. I had people point at me, laugh out loud upon pointing at me, giggling, talking about me. I have had people take pictures of me, people take pictures with me. And depending on my mood, I allow this to happen. And other times I'm just not about that life and saying, please don't take pictures of me. Like one horrible experience that I had was when I visited Shanghai. I was there for a weekend for a rugby tournament, and this group of guys and women, like about my age or a little bit older, asked if they could take a picture of me or with me. I don't even know. I said no. I was not in a good mood because Shanghai was really bad with the stares and pointing. So I told them no. They disregarded my response and still proceeded to take their phones out and try to take pictures of me. I was really pissed. Shanghai experience was probably the most pissed off I ever was regarding the issue of people wanting to take pictures of me. I was probably the rudest then that I had to give them the finger. I flipped the bird and walked away from the situation. Why does that sound weird in my head? Situation. Okay, so why am I talking about this? So when you live in a place where a lot of people, everyone don't look like you, you stand out. And so even if I say people who are not related to me being mean to me regarding my superficial beauty, even if I say it doesn't get to me, over time, it does get to you. It has a toll on your state of mind, and how you view yourself. After a while, it does accumulate. So that has had a role in the decline of my self-esteem. Do I regret living in Asia? No. I love being in Asia because I don't care for a little bit of ignorance in people. The same ignorance existed in a place where everyone or almost everyone looked like me. So what does it matter if people remain ignorant where they don't look anything like me? So yeah, I don't regret living in Asia. I don't regret traveling through Asia. And then the third point, and probably the saddest point, I'm laughing at because you need a little humor to get through the sad part of life. And that's the point I've gotten to where I can laugh at myself. So like I said, I'm 26 years and I've been single for how many years? You want to guess? 26 years of my life I've been single. I've had the word ugly thrown at me countless of times that it's become one of my identity that I use to describe myself, where I started attaching my self-worth to the way I look, and which translate into me thinking I don't deserve love, romantic love, even platonic love. Like when people act nice to me, I question their motive because I don't think I deserve for people to like me. I want to know why they chose to be around me. So I've always questioned friendships, which is why I don't have a lot of friends. So regarding love or like trying to get close to men in a romantic way has just been a no. Well, because I haven't allowed it emotionally, and also because it never happened. I've been on 2 dates in my entire life, as in like 1 date, 1 night with one person, 1 date, 1 night with another person, and it's happened through dating apps, which was a big deal for me. Let me tell you. For me to put myself on social media, I questioned that. Who is going to look at my pictures and find me attractive? Like, sure, you like love and whatnot, relationship are not built on superficial things, but you still have to find a sense of attraction to someone. So I had to do a lot of work with that. So the first dating app I used was Coffee Meets Bagel. This was back when I lived in Los Angeles, and I went on a date. It was a weird one. Wish I could go back and change things. It wasn't like bad, like something bad happened. It was just a weird date. This guy was interested in something I was not. That was around when I was 24. That was my first date. A friend told me not to go on it, but at the time, I wasn't desperate, I wouldn't say, but I just wanted to experience dating because everyone kept talking about it, everyone my age. So I just said I wanted to know what the experience was like. I can confidently say that is not what everyone's date is supposed to look like. Whatever. Moving on. I could no longer use Coffee Meets Bagel when I got to Korea, and I deleted that a long time ago. And one app I told myself I would never use, Tinder. When I got to Korea, I downloaded Tinder about 4 months after living here. Again, dealing with the same problems, like who's going to look at me, who's going to find me attractive. I succumbed to it. I downloaded it, and every time I would get a match, I would get so excited that somebody looked at my face, found me attractive, and decided to swipe. Okay, guys, get this. That excitement went down really quickly when I realized the kind of people who were on Tinder. Ghosts, like these people don't exist, basically. Or they wanting something entirely different from what you're looking for if you're someone who's looking for value in relationships. That didn't work out. And I did go on one date. It wasn't as horrible as my first one, but it was also a little bit weird. There was some slight fetishization going on. It wasn't what I wanted, and so that was that. And I deleted Tinder, downloaded it again, but nothing came of that, and I'm done with it. Now I know that's not for me. It also wasn't a good place for someone like me. It made me question myself all the time when I didn't get a match or when I didn't get a response from people. I put the blame on myself, saying, oh, it's because I am ugly. I did say I was ugly. No, those people also have their own issues that they're dealing with. God help them. And so that affected me. So I had to just stop with that. Growing up, I never cared about dating. I didn't think about relationship the way girls my age did. I didn't care about boys. I only saw them as competitors because I wanted to do everything they did. Like I wanted to run around the streets like they did. So I didn't see them as like romantic partners, maybe until at the age of 22. I don't know if this is hard to believe, was when I started thinking seriously about this. Like, oh, maybe I do want to experience what that's like. So when you have almost everyone around you getting snatched left and right, people younger than you, it starts to sting a little. It affirms all these negative thoughts in your head. Like, I've been saying it. It is true. I am ugly. That's why nobody wants me. So yeah, that's what dating and living abroad and Instagram did to my self-esteem. And now moving on to the better part of this video. Okay, how have I been able to deal with the issue of not having self-worth or having a decline in your self-esteem? How have I dealt with this? I have not completely dealt with this, obviously. I still will wake up tomorrow morning and call myself ugly. In this video, I'm still thinking I'm ugly, but I am working on myself to achieve self-love. I'm on a recovery journey, and I'm hoping that some of the points I make in this video, for anyone hoping to gain something from this, I'm hoping that will serve as a form of upliftment. Is that a word? Something will help uplift your spirit. That's my hope for this video, for making such a long video. How have I been able to deal with the issue of decline in self-esteem or loss of self-worth? In dealing with this problem, I will say I have my 3 R's. And the 3 R's are religion, reading / listening, cheating. And the third one is rugby. I know a lot of people don't believe in God. A lot of people don't have a religion. Personally, I believe in God. I don't really think there are sermons at church that have explicitly dealt with superficial beauty. But I've been able to move away from dwelling too much on things like superficial beauty and focus more on more important things. That's why I don't think I'm as depressed on the issue of superficial beauty, even though I'm not going to lie, that it doesn't affect me from time to time. It does. It's affected my identity. I have been able to find solace and refuge in religion, in my faith in God. And kind of leads to point two, which is reading/listening. So in able to deal with those problems, or when you have those negative thoughts creep up when you don't want them to, I read things to help me fight against them. Both religious and secular words have helped me. Even though Instagram is the enemy, is so bad and I hate it, it's affected my self-esteem. I follow a lot of inspirational pages on there that help me, words that I dwell upon, words that I chew and digest. And I say reading/listening for my second point because I also listen to a lot of Christian music that have a lot of good message to help uplift your spirit, to make you think outside of yourself, outside of words that people have thrown at you. I listen a lot every morning when I'm on my computer doing work, before I go to sleep. It moves me, I dance to it, and like I try to do, I said reading/listening because I listen to the lyrics and try and let those words move through me. Yeah, you get that? Okay. And the last R is rugby. I found something that I love so much that when I'm doing it, the rest of the problems in the world don't exist. I've played 2 sports before I found rugby. I've played soccer, I've played basketball throughout high school. When I found rugby in college, everything changed for me in regards to my personality and how I view myself. And that's like something I'm really grateful for, and so much more grateful to have found it here in Korea as well, because rugby has my heart. Like, so for me, those are the 3 things that have helped me: religion, reading/listening, and rugby. Those are the 3 things that I'm hoping that maybe you can find something of yours, of your choosing, that you can focus on, that's outside of superficial beauty, something that you don't have control over. You can find something of your choosing that no person or no circumstance can touch, that you can focus on, that will help uplift you and even transform your mind to even maybe help you rethink of yourself. And I'm not gonna lie that we're suddenly not going to think about superficial beauty anymore. That's not true, because I still fall victim to that. But I'm saying there are more important things that we can focus on that can help us build our self-esteem. One of the things that I have tried to help get over the issue of self-esteem or trying to feel beautiful is that I've attempted to use makeup. I wore makeup for the first time for prom in high school, and I didn't wear makeup after that until my senior year of college. Mostly what I wear is foundation and then eyeshadow. The most times that I wore makeup was back when I lived in Los Angeles, because I don't know what about it. Like maybe because I was going to my church or something. But yeah, I wore makeup a lot there. And I'm not going to lie, when I look back on those times, it gave me a boost of confidence when I would feel pretty when I look in the mirror from wearing those makeup. But the truth is, it didn't feel truly, genuinely to me. And obviously not permanent. So whenever you wash the makeup off, you still have to deal with your face and come to terms with how you look. I'm not bashing people who wear makeup, and I'm not bashing makeup. I'm not saying I'm done wearing makeup, but I'm just saying that was something I tried that was just very temporary. So you would have to do a lot of other work on yourself and wear makeup on the side, but not wear makeup as a shield or armor, because the problem still exists. And the last point I'm going to make for this very long video is what I am coming to love about myself. There are 3 points that I've come to appreciate about myself that are so far away from superficial beauty. The first one is that I've found pride in my body / physical strength. I'm not trying to brag, by the way. This is just me identifying a quality that I possess and speaking out confidently about it. I consider myself a strong person, and the way I'm built, even though I was once teased about it for looking like a boy, for not looking feminine enough, now these days I'm feeling confident in my skin in that regards. You have people telling me they wish they looked the way I look. I was formed this way, and I am grateful for the way I was shaped. Second point I'm going to say is that I'm confident and I take pride in my ability to adapt to any and all situations I found myself in. Like I said, I am living in Korea. I've traveled to many countries. I've been a part of things that are not normal to my upbringing or people similar to me, and I've just thrived easily in it. I'm thankful for that. Not a lot of people can say that they're scared to step outside of their comfort zone. I am scared. I get nervous stepping outside of my comfort zone, but I have not let fear stop me from stepping outside of my comfort zone. So that's something I'm proud of. And then the last point I'm going to make in this video is that I am proud of the power that I possess to persevere. Might be similar to the second point, but maybe a little bit different. I think I've gone through some hardships. Although I may not mention those in this video, I did not fall apart in the face of these problems, tribulations. I've come out stronger. I can persevere through anything by God's grace. I am very surprised that I did not get emotional throughout this video. I guess that's part of the work that I'm doing. Being able to do this right now is in of itself a feat, because the idea of joining YouTube came about for me around 2012, and because I didn't think anyone would want to watch anything with my face in it, I had a lot of self-doubt. I delayed it for so long, even though it was something I always wanted, because I enjoy recording things that I see around me. And so I didn't summon enough courage until 5 years after the thought first came up for me. The fact that you're watching this video right now means that I have done some work with myself, within myself, and that is the reason why I put this video itself online. It means that I've worked through some issues and I'm able to make myself vulnerable. I'm training myself to not let people's words control my emotion. That's work that I've been doing, that I'll continuously work on. So if you have managed to watch this video in its entirety, I want to say thank you so much, because I know I have a fault. I tend to rant a lot, especially if it's an issue that's very close to my heart, like this one is. I can talk for hours about it. But yeah, thank you for watching this video.